What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here with episode four. So this is the Pitchers Pulse podcast, the show where we're going to dive into stories across all levels, from college guys to pro guys. We just want to share the pure love for the game and share what everybody has to have to their story and whatever else we can find out about them and just get their names out there. Today we got Eddie McCartney on, an incoming freshman pitcher at Vanguard University from San Francisco. Eddie's just stepping into the college baseball journey and much more for him to come. His story is one that a lot of young players will relate to, and hopefully they'll see themselves in the same shoes one day. We got dreams of competing at the next level and everything in between. Eddie, man, welcome to the show. Pumped to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Of course, so let's just jump into it. First off, for people who don't know you yet, just give us the rundown. Where you're from? Obviously, you're a pitcher, right-handed pitcher, and how baseball basically became your thing.
Yeah, so I'm from San Francisco. I would, play with football in the backyard with my dad, like a lot of other people, and yeah, I kind of had a knack for it, so they signed me up for t-ball and just kept on playing at each level after that.
Definitely, yeah, I love it. I mean, everybody's got the origin story. I've heard a couple interesting ones so far. Definitely, our most recent guest, Jack, had a similar
Yeah.
story to you. Just kind of started in his yard, and that's where it really stemmed from. But what's baseball been like growing up in San Fran? More of a bigger city, not as much around. What was that like just growing up?
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot different than other places. When I was growing up, I moved around from there's a spot called Menlo Park. It's a little south of San Francisco. So I spent my first 6 years of, after I was born in San Francisco, I went to Menlo Park and then back to San Francisco. So, comparing the city to more of a suburban area for baseball is a lot different. Sometimes it's hard to find fields or whatever, but I was always close to Oracle Park or AT&T Park down there. So, people love baseball. Sometimes it's hard to, find a league or whatever. You gotta drive a little bit, but I always, kind of had baseball around me in one place or another in the Bay Area.
Definitely, yeah. Was there like really a game, a season, or just like a moment in the backyard that just kind of made you go at the end of the day, like, hey, I want to take this thing seriously and make it a real thing to happen?
Yeah, I think back to outing I had in it was like sixth grade, and before that, like most sixth graders that pitch, didn't really locate or anything. I had a curveball that was okay, and for whatever reason that day everything just kind of clicked. I think I struck out the side, and I was able to just locate to both sides of the plate. And yeah, I just had it that day, and after that, I wanted to keep on getting that feeling, so that's when I really started to work at it.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that's awesome. I've heard a lot of guys who some have their stories that kind of start like that, middle school, some are high school, but other than that, like let's talk about the grind. You just wrapped up your high school season, your senior season. Now you're stepping into Vanguard, ready just to go play at the end of the day and compete and hopefully go to a regional, maybe even the World Series. What was like the recruiting process for you? Any curveballs, pun intended, like anything weird that was thrown at you during the process?
Yeah, for me, I think I didn't really do recruiting right. I wanted to be I didn't start sending out emails or anything till like late my junior season, which I should have started, a lot earlier. And I think what I was worried about was, trying to be a finished product immediately, because in my head I didn't want to, get my just name crossed off the list for, oh, he's throwing, too slow, or he doesn't have this or that. So I was, I wanted to wait before I started recruiting. So, it kind of came down a little bit to the wire for me. I went to some different camps, that fall, and it was I wouldn't say everything was smooth. And the camp where Vanguard picked me up, I actually didn't even pitch too well at. I got hit around a little bit, but the head coach reached out to me just because he liked my the breaking balls. He thought I could be successful at the next level just because of that. So, I do agree with people say, like, if you don't have anything to showcase, don't go to don't waste your money on a showcase. But if you do have your things that you're good at, whether maybe if you're a power bat that doesn't hit for contact too well or whatever, coaches can still see what you could be as a finished product, because no one at 16 years old is going to be a finished product. So, I think going in the recruiting process, if I just kind of understood that a little better, because it's it ended up being a camp that I was kind of mad about afterwards, which ended up being, what got me recruited. And yeah, I mean, I'm all in all real happy with how it turned out. But going in, I wish I just kind of understood that you don't have to have it all figured out at 15 or 16 years old.
Definitely, yeah. So, like, what other offers did you really have coming out of high school besides Vanguard? I know everybody. Sometimes you only get that one, and
Yeah.
but were there other schools like in the mix, or was it really just Vanguard the whole time?
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a few other schools, and there's some D3s I was talking to, and I kind of had this idea going in that if you could these there's a school Pomona that's down here in I think SoCal area or whatever, and I reached out to them, and I'm a decent student. I'm a 3.7 cumulative, but to play at these schools, they don't just let because I think you need like a to get in without baseball, you need about like a 4.4 or something, and they uh they don't really let you slide with just because you play baseball. So I talked to a few of those D3s, but they kind of said that 3.7 doesn't cut it here. So I was talking to a few others, but for the most part, in terms of just pure offers, it was just Vanguard.
Definitely, yeah. And for especially the high school guys out there listening to this, the recruiting process, it's always an overwhelming process in the black box, basically. I know I went through it as well. You just kind of get thrown out there, especially in the junior year, and just kind of sink or swim mode for a lot of people. What's like a piece of advice you'd give to a lot of the high school guys, wishing something that you wish you knew going into it, but you've learned over time and now going to college?
Yeah, I think just like what I said earlier on, don't worry too much about being a finished product. Understand what you do well and advertise that to coaches, and also just don't get discouraged. Majority of your emails are going to go completely unanswered for the most part if you're not throwing 95 or whatever. So just keep on trying, keep on annoying coaches, and don't uh, don't give up. Pretty much.
Definitely. So let's like talk about your arsenal a little bit on the mound. Like what are you velo wise? What kind of stuff do you have in your box? And what's just kind of like pitch? Are you more of a finesse guy trying to blow it by guys? Fastball dominant, off speed dominant. Like what's your motion like basically on the mound? Like who are you on the mound?
Yeah, I'm pretty funky. I would say more finesse side of it because I don't throw. I'm about I sit like 85, 86 usually. So I have a pretty good curveball I rely on, and I feature a splitter too. I'm working on adding some different pitches to my arsenal, but I'm just playing around with it right now. So yeah, I'd say I'm more of a finesse guy. I kind of have a weird motion too. I was told growing up to go as fast as possible. So I don't really like catch my leg lift or anything, which, at times I think, especially when I was younger too, it makes it a little hard to locate. But guys have told me I'm just so like strange to time up because most guys it's a slower buildup in their motion, and I kind of just have this really weird, funky tempo. So that's, that the funk side of it and throwing good breaking balls is really what I do best. And I mean, it's what got me to Vanguard. So.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game of keeping the hitters off balance. It's you against the hitter in the box, or you against the guy on base. So it doesn't really matter like what you have in your box or what you have in your arsenal. Like if you can keep a guy off balance, it doesn't matter if you're throwing 83 or 95. Like at the end of the day, 83 can play just as good as 95. So if you can just be a quirky guy out on that mound like you are, and just keep guys off balance, you can compete at any level, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've turned against some higher level guys, and when I have my stuff working, I'm able to compete against them. And I mean that's what pitching is. It's just yeah, like you said, keeping guys off balance, and don't let them. Yeah, keep them guessing. Don't be predictable.
Definitely. So let's switch gears a little bit. Walk me through your off season. Like, what does your training look like right now? And are you already working with a program from Vanguard, or do you have like your own routine going?
But yeah, I got my own routine going. I lift about 3 days a week. There's two sprint days in there. That's just different forms of sprints on like Wednesdays and Saturdays, and Monday, Tuesday, Friday are heavy lifts. Monday's upper body, Tuesday's lower body, and then Friday's full body lifts. And yeah, I'm just sticking to that right now, trying to not necessarily gain weight for me. I'm 6'2", like 205, more of just put on strength, and that's kind of the goal going into next season.
Definitely. So let's just jump into the mindset stuff now. As a pitcher, so much of the game is mental. Like it's handling the pressure, keep your composure, not letting the like small stuff get to you. A lot of guys chirp, especially at the college and pro level, and especially just understanding it's not the end of the world if you walk a guy, hit a guy, give up a hit, even a home run. So what's kind of like your mental routine? Like run us through it. Any breathing techniques or pregame habits?
Yeah, I think honestly I could do a better job at the mental routine, but I just try to control my breathing. I think meditating a little bit helps sometimes, just like, on the bus to a game or whatever, just closing your eyes, focusing on your breathing for a little bit, clear your head is good. Um, but yeah, and just don't, for me, try to be not as results focused, because I kind of think about it afterwards. Like if I threw all the, for any given outing, if I threw those 30 whatever pitches in a bullpen, would I be mad about it? And if the answer is no, then you kind of let it go, because you can execute your pitches and whatever. And if they take a curveball the other way, it's on the corner, you just kind of got to tip your hat. So it's understanding that your job isn't necessarily you want to limit runs, obviously, but at the end of the day, all you can do is throw your pitch, and if you do that and they get you, then that's just baseball, and you gotta forget about it. I have a short memory, and I think that's good for the mental side of the game to understand that.
Definitely, without a doubt. I mean, everybody has their own ways, especially just being out there on the mound. Like some guys do a couple deep breaths. Some guys like holding their breath for some reason. But everybody's got the kind of like different routines. But yeah, like you're walking to a new chapter now. College life, better competition, bigger crowds. What excites you, like making that jump from high school to like college? Because it's going to be a complete different ball game. But
Yeah,
what's
for
just that
sure.
thing that's keeping you going and is just like you're looking forward to the most at the end of the day?
I think just a higher level of baseball in general. New challenges. You got better hitters to face, and I think it's a fun new challenge. We also, traveling around is also fun. I think we go to Hawaii for a few games, and can't no matter how you pitch, can't be mad if you're in Hawaii. So that's always fun. But yeah, just higher level of baseball, I'd say.
Definitely. So yeah, let's talk about Vanguard a little bit. What stood out about the program? Like, how do you like the coaches, the culture, the school itself? What are you even going into school wise? Like, what drew you to there especially?
Yeah, I talked with their head coach, and I really liked the way he thought about the game. I also always wanted to go to school in the Southern California area. Vanguard's in Costa Mesa, so I mean that works out well, and just like the area down there. I have some family or whatever over there, and yeah, it was just a great fit for me.
Definitely. What so everybody's a little bit different. Some guys like taking the easier route, some don't. Obviously, as still a good academic guy, what are you going into like majoring wise in college?
I'm gonna be a business administration major.
Definitely. So how do you plan on handling playing baseball and being able to still get it done on the school side of things? I know being where you were, smaller school in high school, what was it just kind of like? You already know like how hard you have to work, um, but just what's something like you look forward to going into being able to play a high level of baseball while getting a high level degree and just being a hard worker at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a grind. You just mixing in college sports with college, but yeah, I think you just have a routine, and don't lose sight of what your ultimate goal is over there. And uh, yeah, you think I mean, it probably have its up and downs with balancing those two. Freshman year, my high school was pretty solid academically too, so I think that prepared me for it. But it's just learning how to balance the two, and make the most of your time each day, so you're not doing homework at 2 a.m. as least as possible for that kind of thing. But yeah.
Definitely. So I know we've talked a lot about baseball so far, but let's talk about stuff off the field. Like, what are some of your interests, your hobbies? What are you doing when you're not on the mound?
Yeah, I like lifting, which is still kind of baseball, because I lift for baseball. But Yeah, outside of that, yeah, I'll play some golf. I'm not very good at it, but I have fun. So yeah, that's what counts. Um, and yeah, that's about it actually.
Not much video games or anything on the side. I know a lot of
I play
baseball
some,
guys are big
yeah.
video gamers.
I do play the show, um, and a little bit of Fortnite. I'm not very good at either of them, but yeah, it's fun. And I'm actually I made a Road to the Show character with my Arsenal, so I can start figuring out a pitch sequencing a little bit heading into college.
I
That's
mean,
something I've
it's
been,
not a bad idea. A lot of
yeah,
guys. I mean, there's guys out there. Lucas Giolito, Blake Snell. I
yeah.
know those are big guys on the game too. So playing video games, it's always a good distraction sometimes, and you always need that every once in a while from the game. So definitely a good thing. But I'm gonna throw you into a fun segment here, loosen it up a little bit. We're gonna do a couple rapid fire questions. Just say whatever comes to your mind. Don't think. Don't take time on it. Just at the first thing that comes to your mind, just throw it out there. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Favorite MLB pitcher right now.
Logan Webb,
Most annoying kind of hitter to face.
contact guy, scrappy contact guy for sure.
Favorite pregame meal.
Asta,
What's your dream stadium to pitch in one day?
ooh. I'm a Giants fan, but the energy at Dodger Stadium would probably be a fun one. I think that's
Definitely.
a.
What's who's one teammate that's always like been a hype man for you?
I gotta think about that a little bit. Um, this guy named Ryan at my high school, he'd always say some funny stuff while I was out there on the mound. Sometimes it make me laugh on the mound, cover my face with my glove, but always keeps you loose.
Definitely. And now we'll go to the last one right here. What does the love for the game mean to you?
I think it's just loving baseball in general, not for, whatever results you get playing it or betting on it, but just enjoying, watching the game and different aspects of it, maybe understanding the, strategy in it.
Definitely, I love that, and that's part of the reason we're here, just for the love of the game and spreading stories around baseball. You can tell you're not just chasing stats and haven't been a guy that chases stats. You're really in it for the journey, and you want to be here, and that's what we're about here at Pitchers Pulse. Is just sharing stories and the journeys of guys and where they go. Um, but like, what's one piece of life advice I'd have to say just for other guys in the game? It can be a reach to everybody out there, from guys in pro ball to high school guys to young kids playing. I mean, everybody can learn from each other at the end of the day, and we all have our own life experiences. So, what's just like a couple pieces of advice that you could give to some people all around the world?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just to be able to bounce back from your bad days. Everyone's gonna have them at every level, and it's just not letting those define you and having a short memory. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can't, you watch MLB games all the time, and you see these guys dominate, and you can't, you can't compare yourself to a guy that's already a finished product, and even still, those guys are gonna have, bad days. So it's just understand. I think you know, one of the most important things in baseball, which is really a game of failure, if you think about it, is just understanding how to bounce back, and in life
Definitely.
too. Yeah.
I mean, you can't ride the highs too high and you can't ride the lows too low at the end of the day, because they're gonna come very often. They're gonna come and go, and if you're riding the highs too high, those lows are gonna hit worse. And when you ride the
Yeah.
lows too much, the highs seem way out of reach. So that's definitely a great piece of advice. And if you could tell 12-year-old Eddie something to keep him going, what would you tell him?
Just keep working. Just don't, let some stuff just kind of roll off. You don't beat yourself up about one day or the other. And like you said, don't ride the highs also. Just keep working, keep your head down. Yeah.
Definitely. Well said, Eddie, man. Thanks again for coming on the show. We appreciate you sharing a little bit about your journey and where you're going to be going at Vanguard. Best of luck this season, and hopefully we'll get you on back down the road eventually in a couple years to see how it's going. But it was a blast today. Thank you for coming out today.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, and so that wraps it up for today's episode of the Pitchers Pulse podcast. Huge thanks to Eddie McCartney for sharing his story. And if you're a ball player grinding out your journey, whether you're in high school, college, pro ball, dream big. This podcast is for you. Don't forget to follow us on our socials, drop a review, share it with a teammate. Hit us up if you'd also want to be on the show one day. And until next time, keep the pull strong and the passion stronger. I'm Tyler Straley, and we'll catch you on the next episode.